This is Spin Class. We're sponsored by Beckerman, BeckermanPR.com, and we are pleased to have back Jacob Kornbluh, City Hall beat reporter for various Jewish news outlets, who is out with a very interesting item this week that discusses that the honeymoon may be over for Mayor Bill de Blasio and some in the Jewish community. Jacob, thanks for coming back.
Always a pleasure to be on your show, Michael.
Always a pleasure to have you, Jacob. So tell us what's going on. You always have your ear to the ground, but I have to say I read your item, and it seems that nobody was willing to go on the record saying that de Blasio's honeymoon is over.
I can confirm that because of the numerous interviews I
not suggesting it wasn't well sourced. I'm just suggesting that people are afraid to come forward.
People, heads of organizations, and we're not talking about specific organizations. This is a broad range of organizations. Usually are afraid to go on record out of retaliation. I mean, the mayor's office is a little more powerful than myself and others, and if you go on the record and you just complain about the mayor not being attuned to certain issues in the community, while it's still a relatively a short period. It's 4 months. It's not 4 years. We're not talking about his re-election. He doesn't have an opponent yet. He doesn't have a primary. So we're not talking about people willing to go on the record in order either to punish the mayor or to call him out. They're just expressing their frustration in the new administration that promised to be more transparent, to be more open to certain communities. And out of concern, they're expressing their frustration that while the labor contracts that wasn't resolved since 2009 were resolved in a split second. I mean, 4 months for such a substantive contract is a short period of time. And then you look ahead at the pre-K fight, which was seen as a long-shot fight in a battle with Governor Cuomo, paid sick leave and so on. If you go on to the progressive issues, and even today when the mayor presented the executive budget, there are a lot of fundings to certain programs. However, when Mayor de Blasio ran for office and he came to seek the Orthodox Jewish community's vote, there were two issues that he promised, and he's on record. He said it publicly before he was elected and right after he was elected. He said that he will bring forward a resolution on the controversial Matzitza pay issue and restore Priority 5 and Priority 7 vouchers, which is only $60 million if you break it down in comparison to a $74 billion budget for the fiscal year of 2014 and 15. So, when it comes to these issues, and the mayor is not being specific, there may be ongoing negotiations behind the table. But so far, these people that had these organizations, if these people that are waiting for a meeting with the mayor, or they even finally sit down with the mayor's office and staff, who may have an open line with the mayor, don't get specific answers, and the issues are not resolved as of this moment, they express their frustration, but they're not seeking retaliation.
So you met, so many things are there to respond to. But number one is you mentioned that organizations like Agudath Israel can't get a meeting with the mayor. I mean, they can't get a meeting, or it's way off in the future. They haven't been able to meet him yet. But I will say, a lot of these same organizations complained they couldn't get meetings with Bloomberg.
Well, if you compare Mayor de Blasio to Mayor Bloomberg, at least Mayor Bloomberg had some sort of communications until recently. I'm talking about since from 2001 until 2009. But Mayor Bloomberg stopped Priority 5 and Priority 7 in 2010. So it was in the budget until then. The Mecice issue came up in his third term, and Mayor de Blasio specifically came out to the community, expressed sympathy with the community, and promised that if he gets the community support, he'll pay them back with an open door at City Hall and resolve the issue, at least bring some resolution. So far, the same law that was implemented by the health department in the Bloomberg administration is still in effect right now. So if you're talking about Agudas Israel seeking a meeting with the mayor, they might not be the most important organization the mayor has to meet with. But I'm talking about the broader Orthodox Jewish community, those small organizations that depend on funding, those parents that pay already high tuition, those special needs that go through such a horror until they get certified for certain funding. Those people are expressing their frustrations, and it's not only about a meet and greet and a photo op with some Askunin and community leaders.
I wouldn't disagree with any of those points. I guess it's known that de Blasio has some very high-ranking Orthodox Jews in his administration. That hasn't made it better?
He has, Avi Fink is his deputy intergovernmental director, but he is serving as a key advisor on policy issues. So to say that he is the highest-ranking member of the administration that only deals with the Jewish issues, I mean, this can be, this shouldn't be attributed to his work because he's doing tremendous work on other fronts too. But if it was, the notion was when de Blasio, who represented Borough Park, that came as public advocate to every breakfast and every event, that first reached out of all the candidates, despite most of the organizations expressing their willingness to support Bill Thompson in the primary after they supported him in 2009. And de Blasio specifically requested, please, I know you don't do this. I know Agudas Israel doesn't endorse before elections, but you should do this for me because I was there. I was talking about all the issues, and I will have an open ear because I understand the community. I don't need any liaisons. Some guy was quoted as saying that de Blasio doesn't need the GPS when going around Borough Park, but since he was elected mayor, he hasn't been
able to find it.
So, you know, it's not about having high-ranking officials associated with you. It's about the policy of the administration. If the folks see that the mayor is tackling, or at least bringing some sort of resolution to these issues that are hanging and are precious to the Orthodox Jewish community, if it's done by an individual, if it's done by good faith, and it's not done by a specific organization, people will appreciate that. But so far, people are not seeing. And if it is done behind closed doors, and these same people are complaining to me that the mayor is not attuned to the issues, then we have another problem, which is our community playing double-faced. And that is something that should become public if indeed the mayor is doing certain stuff behind the scenes to resolve these issues, but the public is not notified about it.
Okay, Jacob Kornbluh, City Hall beat reporter and just regular political reporter all over New York. Thanks for joining us here once again on Spin Class.